Well, I really don't need this hat today because I'm inside and I'm going to teach you a little bit about getting ready to use your tower garden. Now, tower garden is a vertical aeroponic gardening system that you can plant up to 28 plants on it with the extensions. And now including some fresh greens. So the microgreens have become really popular and they are a huge nutrient boost to your salads. We keep them small, but I digress. Let's go and have a look at how to set up to do some seeding. Very simply, here are the tools that you will need. With your tower garden, you have an initial amount of rock wool, and then you can purchase them in a sheet of 98. Now these have a fairly small hole because these are actually manufactured for cuttings. So what I need to do is I need to take a tool like this pencil with a little bit bigger hole in it, and like I've done here, actually make those holes a little bit bigger. With your tower garden, you actually have rock wool that has the larger holes. From there, I have taken and I've recycled some low, not too high containers that I got from the grocer, and I think I had mushrooms in these, the sliced mushrooms. So with these, I've recycled, that's what they look like, wash them down, and now I can use them to start seeding for my tower garden. One of the other tools that you will want to have handy, and you'll probably have got it right in your kitchen drawer, is a knife. And it doesn't have to be serrated, it can be a plain knife. Because what I like to do is I like to turn the rock wool over and I will section out these cubes of mineral wool to make it easy to remove once the plants are ready for the tower. Just helps in keeping some of the roots from being tangled. One of the other things that I've been using is this little pick, and all it is just a nut pick, but something that is quite pointy and especially handy when you have tiny seeds. Now I'm going to bring up seeds. There's all kinds here. I have a red salad bowl lettuce here. I have kale over here, and I have romaine. These are the things that I absolutely love putting on my tower. Now I'm going to bring it up a little closer because, as you know, if you are a gardener or have done any gardening, seeds are all sizes. These are a lettuce seed. This is the red lettuce seed. And things like red stalk celery, which I have down here, are even teenier. So depending on the size of your seed will determine if you want to make the holes larger in your rock wool or not. So now that I've put them into the containers, I want to remember what I've planted. That doesn't always happen. And if you've gardened outside, you're going to put stakes or you're going to put some kind of indication of what you planted. So the lowly clothespin is very handy, and you can pick up those at any dollar store. But what I also do is, if you don't feel like writing it on there, is I actually have some labels that I just take and I stick onto the clothespin. So I just put that on there, and then I know exactly, or I can remember, especially if I'm doing different varieties in one container, then I know, or I can better remember what I have seeded. So that's just a little handy little tip for you. Now you're also going to need water. I have water here from a Brita that I have passed through so it removes most of the chlorine. You can let water sit out in a jug or a bucket as well so that the chlorine dissipates. But this isn't the water that I'm going to use for the seedlings because I want that water to be pH balanced. So I pulled out this sweet little vase. It's actually a heritage vase from a special aunt, and I've labeled it for seedlings because I don't want anybody drinking it. I've actually brought it down to seedling capacity. So that just means that I've taken the pH solution. This one has a test indicator on it. I have dipped my little container in 5 milliliters of water, and all I'm going to do, and I haven't modified that water at all, and there we go. So that is 5 drops. It's quite a bright green. So if you can see that on the scale, that means that it is at the top of the pH level. So I do want to bring it down just a little bit so that's more in a putrid green or baby poo green. Am I allowed to say that? For these seedlings to grow and to develop properly. So really, that's all there is to it on getting your seedlings started. Some people like to take and tuck the vermiculite or perlite in the center on top of the seeds. I don't even bother with that. Just make sure that your rock wool is moistened. These are. And all I would do is just, and I won't do it yet because I haven't balanced this properly, would just pour it over, drain off the excess for use another time. Now, do you want to see actually what happens to those seedlings? Because in about 3 weeks, I'll be able to harvest some of these, especially the lettuces. Here we go. Now, this is not 3-week-old Swiss chard. This is Swiss chard that's been growing on my tower for a couple of months now, and I do want to refresh the plants because they are getting rather lengthy. So, from me, Elaine Cooper, your Better Living Coach. Enjoy your day and be creative.